Hello and good morning, guys. This is Andy McCann here with Fitness, Food, and Finance, where I'm trying to help you lay a firm foundation in those three things. This is a video. Go to YouTube at Andy McCann42 and a podcast. You can download it on any platform you want. It's called Fitness, Food, and Finance, right? Weirdly enough. And today we're going to go over what the gym's going to be doing over 2026, some events coming up. And the big part is, what about being new? What should I expect? And what are some questions? So I have gathered a bunch of questions, and I asked all of y'all a while ago to send me more, and I finally compiled a bunch of those. I wrote up a short answer. I threw it to ChatGPT and said, hey, a lot of these are the same. Combine them together so I don't have so many questions, and give me an even number like 50 or something. So I'm going to go through those with you guys and expand upon them. The document that I'm going to that I have is going to be published on our free page. So if you go to CrossFitGarage.com/free, then you'll see this document, and it's just going to be called Questions for the New, something like that. Okay, so let me jump right into it. Of course, a great podcast for you guys to listen to in addition to mine is The Survival Podcast with Jack Spirko. This week, right now, is November 3rd. I'm going to be heading out to, I know you're listening to this the week after, but that's how I do it. I record them a week ahead. I'll be heading out to Dallas, Texas to do a presentation on health and fitness, you being the primary prep, and it'll be a live stream, so maybe some of you guys caught that. Anyway, it's a great podcast. I do a little bit for them as the health and fitness expert. Okay, on to the two main things. One of them is we've got a bunch of stuff coming in 2026. It is true, we do not do a Christmas party or end of the year party, a Festivus party, or any of that stuff. The reason is I have tried to plan it multiple times, and many people are like, I've already got things that I'm doing, and it's just a competitive thing. So whatever, we're not going to do that. We don't compete with your other friends. We want you to come and enjoy it, and we've changed it into a party at the McCann Family Zombie Compound. So that's going to be coming up, and I'll talk about that in a second. Okay. So first is on January 3rd, we'll have a kickoff for nutrition with Coach Jennifer. On the 12th, we'll do the 3 workouts from Gym Resolutions. On February 26th, we'll start the CrossFit Open, and we'll hopefully get photos from Lindsay then. On March 21st, we've got Oak Mountain Adventure Race, so a couple of us are doing that. On March 28th is the Savage Race. I'm going to tell you more about these. I'm just running through the list right now. On April 18th is the next True Challenge or Festivus, the thing we just did, the competition. The week of April 27th will be Bring a Friend, so it's not spring break. That was important. And then the gym get-together will be at my house on June 12th. I think that's a Friday is what I've picked. Okay, let me go into some details on things we do so you guys can have fun with this. If you're looking for health and fitness, you found the right place. If you're looking for a community of people, of like-minded folks to go along with this journey in life connection, you have found us. We do a lot of things, most of it involved in doing outdoorsy fun things. We've got QR codes on the gym wall that have, there's like 6 things up there now. There's men's group, which I'm slacking on that. I got to get back on that one. There's the outdoor group, which we do a lot of stuff. There's a climbing group. There's the D&D and board game group, which we have a consistent group that does that. We need to add some of you guys in there. And then there's also now Coach Caroline started a prayer group. So if you need prayer, put it in there, and or you're for a prayer warrior, go for it. Okay, other things that we do. We typically will meet on Saturday at 8 a.m. at Rope Mill or Blankets Creek to do some mountain bike riding. Come join us. We ride near each other because nobody rides together. We also have, Coach Jamie and her husband, Coach Jordan, are doing the Callaway Gardens 10K, and it is November 30th, so you have time to still register for that. I will be doing the Helen Holiday Half Marathon. It's a trail marathon. That's December 13th. And you can go look that one up. You can look any of these things up. If I remember, I'll put them in the show notes, but I usually forget to do that. Anyway, that's December 13th and starts at 7:30 a.m. I think I'm going solo right now. We also, a couple of us meet at the Georgia orienteering courses and do some of the orienteering races. Those are fun. It's a map and a compass. All right, I mentioned that we are going to do, I wonder if this page is dead. I can't get it to reload. The Garage Games. Let's see if I can get Gym Resolutions to come up. Nope. It doesn't want to come up. Anyway, there's 3 workouts that we'll do. I can find it on Facebook. Let me find that. All right, miracle of pausing, you guys. It took me a few minutes, but for you guys, it was fast. Yeah, so we got a couple workouts on here. If you go to Facebook, you'll find the page, Worldwide WOD Gym Resolutions. The workouts are Helena, Karina, and Grace. Or Karina, I don't know. And we just changed them slightly. So what we'll do is have them appear the first or second week of January, and we'll do them like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And we'll have people repeat that year after year after year, right? So it's used to be a thing we did all the time. I just got out of the habit of doing it. You won't have to do anything special or register for anything. It'll just be in there and we'll do them. Okay. And then we have the CrossFit Open. I need to ask the coaches again if we'll do it this way. Actually, let me pause you and ask. Okay, I just sent a text to Coach Caroline asking her if she'll head that up for us. But anyway, the CrossFit Open, it is a competition open to the entire world, and we will do it as a gym. What'll happen is something like on Thursday for 3 weeks, so every Thursday for 3 weeks, they give us a workout, and then we do that workout on Friday and Saturday. So you have two options to do that. Cool. She just texted back and said, I would love to. Perfect. So she'll be leading that and getting us set up once again. So we'll do something like 3 teams or 4 teams, and we'll compete against each other, not necessarily just in the score, though that will be a part of it. It'll also be things like showing up and taking pictures and I don't know, just whatever else, right? So we will do that. She did a pretty good job last year, and we had a really good participation. So hopefully we'll get more of you guys into it. I think it was 10 people in each team. There's 3 teams. So that's 30, I think. So anyway, looking forward to that. Should be a lot of fun. And then Omar is the Oak Mountain Adventure Race. So you can do a 24-hour race or you can do a 10-hour race. I'm going to be racing with the slower, more methodical folks. So I've got, right now on my team will be Jordan and Sam. And then Randy is going to take folks that would like to try to run really fast. So that might be Eddie and Louie. And, oh man, there was 2 other people, but now the names are escaping me. Anyway, I plan on getting an Airbnb out there. Should be a lot of fun. We'll just take the weekend and have a good time. Okay, next up is the Savage Race. You guys should know this by now. If you don't know what an obstacle race is, then you live under a rock. So this one is the Georgia Savage Race, and I think it's in Dallas, Georgia. I think so. So be looking for that one. The dates are kind of back to back, so I hope to be able to do all of this stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it just gets too crowded with my schedule. The next is, yes, we're going to host again on April 18th, the True Challenge. Went super smooth last time. I think the key was having all the great volunteers and being overstaffed for the judges, so I loved it. We also had a perfect number of attendees to create lots of space between the workouts, so I'll make sure that happens again. So that should be a lot of fun for us. Then we have the garage get together at the Zombie Apocalypse compound. So this is my house. Back my house has a pool. Thank you for Verity for putting that in. And we've got this massive swing. I think that's Dave Bronwell on the swing. I have to get that checked out. It is super fun, but it's been up for a while, so I might have to redo the ropes. Yeah, it was Dave. Perfect. We met Dave and Kathy's son, who is like 9 feet tall. So he's going to give Josh and Matt a run for their money in height. We had a whole bunch of people there, and yeah, it was a blast. So anyway, we'll do that again. Okay, something that's not part of it, but it's just something cool. I am going to go across the street to Thrive Medical and do this EBOO thing. It's external blood oxygenation and ozonation. So basically what they do is they put 2, for me, it's going to be 2 large needles, so large mouth needles, because I did not want to do all of their protocol. They're like, yeah, that's fine. We'll just have to use a bigger needle. I'm like, that's fine. Whatever. I'll do bigger needles. I'll just cry a little bit. Anyway, so they take the blood out. They ozonate it. That's O3. And ozone likes to bond to particles. So it's going to pull out some of the bad things. And then they oxygenate it. So they take the red blood cells and they throw more oxygen into it. And then they run it through a UV light. And they also run it through a mechanical filter. So like a filter for your car. And it'll pull out the big pieces. My assumption with the way I eat and the health that I have is that I am totally fine. But I know that us men die a lot as we turn 50 and more through brain clots and heart clots, so heart attacks and strokes. So this is my thing to say, hey, men, let's do a thing. I'm going to go do it first and tell you if it was any good. If it works and if I see stuff in my veins, you are all screwed. I don't eat poorly. Well, I don't eat vegetables, so that could be poorly. I don't eat bad. I exercise all the time. I get great sleep. So if I'm screwed, you all are screwed. So this is Ebu. I'll be doing that. Actually, it'll be done by the time you listen to this. It'll be on Tuesday. Matter of fact, I took one of their pills, the nitrous oxide, so it's supposed to help create more or less viscous blood fluid, so it lets it get through the veins better and through the piping better, the needle. My blood pressure is already so low that they said when I took it, I was like, I feel dizzy. I went on ChatGPT and said, hey, remember who I am. I'm going to do Ebu, and I took a nitrous oxide, and it immediately said, hey, watch out. You have super low blood pressure. You're probably going to pass out. Within 10 minutes, I was laying on the floor in my office calling my wife going, hey, I am laying on the floor. I feel like I'm going to pass out. I just think I should let you know in case I don't wake back up. So she and Levi came over and had me put up my feet and gave me some other stuff. And of course, I'm okay. I'm doing the podcast. But watch out. If you're super healthy, they are going to give you a protocol for the sick, and you are not sick. So watch out. Okay. On to the questions. As I said, if you go to CrossFit Garage/free, you'll see a bunch of free resources. I will have them add this free resource for you, and it'll be called something like 50 questions for the new. First up is, what can you expect in your first 3 months? So we've had this document for a very long time. And one of our new people said, hey, tell me what it should look like. What about body recomposition? And it's a great question. I haven't answered it in a very long time. Basically, the answer is, nothing much is going to change until about 3 months in which case you're going to notice your pants fit differently. Your weight, if you're a guy, will probably go down. If you're a girl, it might even go up, but it's not going to change much because you're adding muscle, and muscle weighs more than fat. So you'll notice the shrink of your body, pant size, not the weight of your body, because muscle weighs more. Okay, so, and month 1. It is the wake up and get it done and rebuild phase, right? You're going to improve your posture, make your movement more awareness there. So you'll hear me say, just come in, even if you're super sore, to learn the movements. And that's why. You'll start to notice some muscle toning, but mostly in the, wow, this, like I am sore. And that's it. That is muscles getting their thing done. You may have more energy, and you definitely will sleep better because you're going to be tired. So just be aware that you should be hydrating and you should be working on some sort of recovery. I always tell people in this first month, make sure you leave something on the table. Don't come in here and give it all. Drive away thinking I could have done something a little bit more. You'll probably gain some lean muscle mass and lose some weight, which will even itself out. And the scale, like I said, probably won't change at all. In month 2, you'll notice some strength gains, mostly because you're learning to use your body correctly. Are you actually getting stronger? No, not yet. You're just more mechanically sound, which is stronger, right? Some of the fat loss will kick in. And so what's going to happen is your strength, like I said, will go up. Your metabolism starts to improve. You're going to notice some of the fat loss. This is where your pants will start to feel a lot different. You'll notice some of the definition in muscles that you haven't had in a while, like maybe in your triceps. The biggest part is your pants or your clothes are going to fit different. And we talked about that one already. Month 3 is where a lot of the transform happens. This is why most of the gyms do a 90-day challenge. They know this to be true. So weight loss will be a bit more significant, especially if you let me adjust your diet. I know most people won't. Other people would notice your progress. You'll go out and do a thing and, I don't know, like climb Stone Mountain, and you won't have to take a break. And other people will be like, what's up? What's up? That's weird. That's weird. Well, tell me what you're doing. You still may be sore, but it won't be as intense. You will know now what you're trying to achieve in the movements, and you'll get a lot of PRs over the next couple months. And you'll start to feel inside more confident and more like, hey, I'm an athlete that's learning and growing. So that's kind of what's going to happen. It is a super slow process because it's done right. Anything, I can make you lose 20 pounds in 1 hour. Just let me chop off your leg. 20 pounds. So losing weight isn't really what people want. They want to look good naked and become harder to kill. And that's what we deliver. It just takes time if you want to do it correctly. Okay. On to the questions. 14 minutes in, and here comes the questions. What is CrossFit, Andy? Tell me about that. I mean, the definition is it's constantly varied functional movements executed at high intensity, and I put in there sometimes. But that's the methodology. Then there's also CrossFit, the business. So CrossFit's real, I think the definition for me is a place of community that is working out strategically and efficiently with a coach to be healthy in your body, mind, and connection, your soul, right? So it's not soul like Ouija boards and God, but soul as in like, that connection, that spiritual connection to people. For example, a real connection. Justin Lebrecht met Wendy Beck here at the gym. They are now married and they have kids. So, I mean, it works, right? Okay. This is a great one. Do I need to be in shape first? No. So a lot of people say that I need to get in shape before I come to your gym. Like, that's not it at all. You'll actually have better gains if you just come in. So come in anywhere. CrossFit meets you where you're at. We sub and scale and modify everything. What if I can't do the movement? Well, I just already said that. We sub and scale and modify everything. I don't even do the prescription, the RX, most of the time. I go for the intended stimulus. Go listen to that podcast, Intended Stimulus. So if you can't do the movements or you're out of shape, that's perfect. You're exactly who we want. The biggest thing is, will you listen? Not only to me or the coach, but to your body, right? Our rules are show up. And rule number 2 is don't do anything stupid today to prevent you from showing up tomorrow. So sometimes we got to tell you, stop being a hero. Coffee break. All right. How often should I come? Dude, I would put it in your calendar 5 days a week. 3 is the bare minimum. You'll notice some changes. 5 is more awesomer. Here's the thing, though. If you're beginning and you're like, 5 days is tough. Yeah, I know that. What I would do is put it in your schedule 5 days a week. If I were to start on a Monday, I would do whatever it is we're doing on Monday. And then Tuesday, I would come in and do the warm-up and then just get on the bike, the Rogue Echo bike, and just bike during class. That's it. And then Wednesday, I'd go back to class and do everything. And then Thursday, I would do the exact same thing as Tuesday. I would warm up and then get on the bike, right? So learn some things, but don't do the workout. Just move. And then Friday, see how you feel. If you're still pretty sore, then just do the bike thing again. Otherwise, do the entire workout. And you can hear it in the background. I'm sorry. We got fired from doing the landscaping. It was Levi's happiest day ever. And they're here right now. Okay, they're not going away. So I'm going to do a couple more of these. And then I'll pause if they get close and go get more coffee. Anyway, will I get bulky? The answer is no. That used to be one of the biggest questions from women. Hey, CrossFit's going to make me bulky. I have been doing this for nearly 20 years. Nobody has ever said, damn, Andy, you are so bulky. What they do say now that I'm actually doing more to this carnivore is, wow, you're very ripped for a 100-year-old man. I'm like, yes, thank you very much. You could see in a video today, Justin couldn't help himself while I was doing the back squat and he was videoing me. He had to zoom in on my ass because this stuff makes you look hot naked. I promise you. Plus the eating. You got to change the way you eat. Okay. How soon will I see results? Dude. Okay, depends what you mean by results. Now, if you're like, will my body notice a difference? Yes, on day 1. This is why I say go easy. We just had a new guy come in the morning. He's a lifter, and I said, hey, just go easy. I know you lift, and it's okay, but we're going to go with some speed. Now, it was just back squat, so no problem. If it was back squat in a workout, the problem we have is we move with more intensity, more quickness, and your body's just not used to it. You'd be like, I could do some burpees, but you don't do burpees at the speed we do them. And then you try, and then the next day you're like, holy shit, I am broken. And that's what happens. So you'll see it immediately, but it'll probably take like 3 weeks for you to really start seeing some of the differences and maybe 6 weeks for the straight changes. A lot of it is body awareness and the mechanics. So the coach needs to know you in order to figure out what to correct and how to correct you. Sometimes it's super easy, but yeah, some corrections are tough. Okay. Is CrossFit safe? Yes. I think one of my very first podcasts I ever did was, I will die if I see somebody even doing CrossFit. No, you won't. CrossFit, the methodology, does not hurt anybody, just like guns. Guns legit do not hurt anybody. It's people using CrossFit or guns stupidly that hurt people. So CrossFit is constantly varied functional movements executed at high intensity, and I add it in there sometimes. Guns are pieces of metal that can project, I don't know, lead or whatever, brass. Does that mean either one of them will kill you or hurt you? No. But used inappropriately, yes, for sure. So stupid people win stupid prizes. Stupid coaches give you stupid prizes. This is why the coach will always tell you, hey, let's check back with me. Let's see. Let's talk. I don't think that weight is, whatever. This is why you should listen. They can see you do a thing. So yes, CrossFit is super safe. I think they actually did a study on it because CrossFit headquarters was pissed off with people trying to say it was unsafe. And they found that the rate of injury was less than people who go out for walks. So yeah, it's super safe. What if I have injuries? Yeah, that's totally fine. We scale and modify. Here is the question for you on an injury. Is it a no-no? Like I have legitimately lost an arm. I can't lift it because I don't have an arm. Okay, well that's a type of injury that's different from my knees hurt and the doctor said I shouldn't squat. Okay, yeah, and that's on you. You got to figure yourself out. So are you telling me for the rest of your life you are never going to squat? That's, to me, just dumb. You should probably learn how to squat around the issue that you have. I tore the meniscus in my knee in a mountain biking race, and they said, yeah, you're kind of screwed. You should have surgery, and you shouldn't use it. I was like, you know what? Screw that. I'm going to figure out how to rehab myself through movement and CrossFit. And I did. Yes, it took a long time. It probably took like 3 years before I felt normal again, but no surgery. And I'm pretty good now. Doing like box jumps and double unders does get me all a little bit weirded up. So I tend to avoid those as needed based on, whatever I'm doing next. Okay. So if you have injuries, that's totally fine. We will help you fix those in the workout and rehab them afterwards. The coaches are very smart about how to help, especially some of them like Coach Matt is injury and rehab Matt or hypertrophy Matt. That's kind of his shtick. So if you have a thing, go ask him. How long are workouts? So the class is 1 hour. The workouts for a CrossFit session are typically going to be 8 to 12 minutes because that's where the curves of intensity intersect. So your phosphagen, glycolytic, and oxidative cycles, that's kind of the sweet spot of things you can do. And we'll mix and match those things differently. So if you're brand new and you're like, well, wait a minute, if I'm only working out for 8 minutes, does that even work? Yes. And this is why we do it. It's the biggest hack and the biggest no-brainer in the history of no-brainers, I guess. This stuff is super efficient and effective. It gets it done, it gets your day over, and you're going to be super healthy. And it's fast because of the intensity. Now, when you're brand new, you probably won't be moving with the same intensity. That's fine. Your intensity does change over time. All right, so class is 1 hour. The workouts themselves are about somewhere between 3 minutes and 30 minutes, just depends. And okay, can older adults do CrossFit? Yeah, I'm 50, what am I, 52? Something like that. We've got Paul is like 63. I know people who are older than that doing CrossFit. Actually, a guy, Charlie from California, just came in town. I think he's older than that. And he's still doing CrossFit. The answer is yes. Here's the real question to you. Do you want to give up squatting and sitting and picking your grandkids up, deadlifting? If you want to give those up, then sure, you don't need to do this. But if you want to be greedy and have it all, then yes, no matter your age, this is for you, especially if you're older. Now, I guess especially if you're an athlete. I wish I would have had this as a wrestler back in high school, but whatever. Will I lose weight? Maybe. So that's the tricky one. The scale may not change because you're gaining muscle. You will definitely lose fat, but weight's the questionable one. If you're scale bound, if you will only figure like my health is totally about the scale, then you should not do what we do. You're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to like it. And you'll hate me because I just will make fun of you the whole time. So get off the scale. What should I eat? Oh, dude. Yeah, that's my favorite. I would tell everyone go carnivore, except I would tell nobody that because it's super hard, but it's been the best thing. It fixed Evan's Crohn's and I literally feel it has made me more self-aware. Like I have an emotional state that I never had before. So I feel like potentially I was jacked in the emotional quadrant and I feel differently. I don't know if I feel more mentally clear. I've always been relatively smart, but I feel less of an asshole. And I feel like I'm trying harder to be less of an asshole. So is it carnivore or is it being 52? I don't know. But eat whole foods. Actually, you have the pyramid. Let's see if I can find it. Well, I won't find it. CrossFit will give you their food pyramid. And it starts off with meats, vegetables, some fruits, some nuts, some seeds, avoid sugar and junk. So that's kind of what it is. Do I need to supplement? No. Food is your best supplement, but we do sell supplements in case you want to. So movement, food, and sleep will move the needle a massive amount of tonness, a poop ton, whereas supplements will move the needle 1%. So if you got everything else dialed in, then yes, let's talk about supplements. If you don't, then I wouldn't even worry about it. What if I can't lift heavy? That's totally fine. I don't lift heavy that much, and I just found today it was hurtful to me. So I was following Justin the Breck in the back squat. I'm like, yeah, this isn't too bad. And then I felt it as I went down. I'm like, I think my hamstrings are pushing a bit too much to keep up with Justin. I should reduce this. So I did, but it wasn't enough. And I went down and then had to drop the bar. So I know I've been shying away from lifting heavy because catastrophe happens at the edges of extreme. So if I'm going to sprint, injury. If I'm going to lift heavy, injury. So I usually limit myself to like a 3-rep max or a 5-rep max, but I know I've scaled back a bit and I can tell that it has affected me. So I am now going to push a little bit more. I may shave reps and add weight and go a bit more strength biased because I know that's something that I have neglected. Or what I might do is just do maybe like maybe 3 sets of 5 heavy back squats after every workout just to get that feel back again. Now, when I say heavy, let's say I was doing 200 pounds today, so I would probably call heavy in this case 135 and just do them slow and steady just to get some time under tension in that weight. So it's okay if you can't lift heavy. How are the workouts structured? Well, the workouts as in the class, there's some sort of warm-up. There's usually some sort of skill or strength. There's the workout and there's a cool down. So the workouts themselves are structured in this 8 to 12 minutes and usually a couplet or a triplet. So a couplet would be like pull-ups and a run. A triplet would be pull-ups, run, and deadlift, right? So it's something like that. What does WOD mean? That's a good question. WOD stands for workout of the day. So it's just whatever we're doing that day. What does RX mean? RX is what people say as they're hitting the prescription. So right now we follow CrossFit Affiliate Programming, CAP, and they will write the RX version of the workout and intermediate version of the workout, and we follow those. They also tell us the intended stimulus. I know after years of doing this, the goal is really to do some sort of intended stimulus that they've asked you to do. Like we want you to be breathy and sweaty and sort of heavy, right? Then they'll say, this is the workout we've chosen. And it's most athletes should be able to hit this that are on the younger, and I've done this for a while side. So that means most of us are not going to hit the RX level. We'll be hitting the intermediate level. Totally fine. So RX is just the prescription. What is scaling? So that's just scaling and modifying. Scaling typically is reps and weight, and then modifying is meant for the actual movement. So scaling like in a clean and jerk, instead of doing 135, maybe I do 95. Or instead of 30 reps, I do 15. So that's scaling. Modifying is clean and jerks. I have a wrist issue. I can't do that movement with the barbell, so I'm going to switch to dumbbells. So I modified. Typically, that's what it means. Why is community so important? Dude, yeah, this is the funniest thing. We started the gym with the idea of just being able to do CrossFit in a CrossFit environment and use real gear rather than swinging a quarter-filled fertilizer bag as a kettlebell, but having real kettlebells. But what we found was the community is super important. So the community brings you together. Everyone suffers the same adversity, and it builds bonds. We end up building great friendships through this. It's one of the most magical things that I've seen. Actually, it even says right there, the magic of CrossFit. I love that. Back with some more coffee. Will I be sore? Yes. This is the part that people just will not listen to me. I say it for 20 years. I've said it. Hey, Timmy, go easy on this first workout because you will be sore. And they're like, nah, dog, I'm going to be good. Timmy always gets sore. Timmy is always not showing up the next day. I really wish people would listen to this one. Yes, you will be sore, and you'll always be sore because you're always pushing yourself. And this is the magic of it. Your body only adapts when it needs to, and soreness is an adaptation it needs to overcome. So your body grows and becomes better because you're sore, because you're breaking it down. So this is the magic of what's going on and why it works so well. How important is mobility? Yeah, very important. So we're going to stretch before and after all the time and move and get you in those positions. We also want you able to hit the range of motion, which is mobility. So in a back squat, we want your crease of your hips to be below the top of your knee. So yes, it is super important. We're going to get you there. Do you track workouts? Yes, we use Wodify. We track everything. You don't have to, but it's certainly helpful to yourself if you do. Many people say, I'm embarrassed, I don't want to show my scores. And then a year later, they're like, I really wish I would enter my scores so I could see how much I've improved. So track because it shows improvement. How long till I get pull-ups? That totally depends. Look, there is a strength to weight ratio, and you have to overcome that, as well as if you want to have the swinging kipping pull-ups, you got to learn that skill. Do I need to run? No, but why do you not want to run? So we would talk about that. Like, hey, I don't have legs. Okay, perfect. Yeah, you can't run. But if like, I just hate it, well, then I would ask you to run. You don't have to, but I would ask you to. You can always change the workout. I don't care. You just showed up. Rule number one, show up. What is a Metcon? That just stands for metabolic conditioning, and it's just the same as WOD, workout of the day. It's just what we do. So metabolic conditioning is transforming. Our goal is to help you be able to transform food into fuel quickly for your body's performance. That's metabolic conditioning. Why do CrossFitters love barbells? It just makes strength movements easier to do. So, and dumbbells are actually, I would probably prefer dumbbells for everything, but people tend to drop those and they bounce everywhere. So just barbells make it a little bit easier to use. Plus, it goes to the next question, which is Olympic lifts are done with barbells. And so we want to follow that. If anybody ever wants to go lift on a competition, you need to know how to use a barbell. Will I embarrass myself? No, nobody cares. They want you to do well. Everybody's on your side. That is the weirdest one for me. I'm embarrassed. I'm nervous. Everyone literally was where you are and they want you to succeed. It's the opposite of embarrassment. You just don't know it yet, but you will once you get here. Why so many variations? And the question for that one was in the workout, like why can I do, if it's pull-ups, why ring rows or seated dumbbell press? It just depends on the area you're trying to progress in. So if you're working on that pulling strength or the pushing strength or my shoulder hurts or, whatever, we're trying to isolate, it just depends where you are. So we have variations to help get you there. So it's a progress. It's a purposeful drive to the goal that you want. How fast should I go? Yeah, dude, right at the beginning, slow. So we focus on mechanics first and then consistency with that mechanic, and then we go with intensity. So if you can't squat well, we're not going to say, hey, load up with some weight and let's squat for time, because you just don't do that well. So it's always form, then weight, then intensity. What if I'm nervous? Yeah, people are always nervous. Show up anyway. I typically tell people, I'll meet you there, so come on in. You will literally have to let me know if you're nervous and need to meet me out front. I'm totally fine with that. Almost everybody is embarrassed and nervous at the beginning. So you literally are everybody that's in the gym. So we all feel the same way. What if I can't squat? Yeah, that's fine. We do squat therapy. We will get you there. Do I need to track macros? So that's the nutrition side. No, but I would love it if you tracked your food for 2 weeks. Will I get abs? Yes, but they may be trapped underneath your fat, which is why we want to adjust your diet some. How can I avoid injury? That's easy. Don't do stupid stuff, right? Listen to the coach, listen to your body. Don't go too hard at the beginning. Do you stretch? Yes, of course. We have stretching before and after. Then you can do more if you want to. We always encourage people to do more stuff if they want to. How do I recover? The biggest one is stretch and roll afterwards, hydration, and sleep, right? And keep showing up. Consistency is good. If you do too much, then you need to do more recovery. So if you're going to be doing like CrossFit Games level of stuff, then you need to have a better recovery protocol. If you're just a mere human like me, then what we do is fine. What if I don't know anyone? Yeah, that's fine. This is where we make friends. This is one of my biggest things now is the connection ability of CrossFit. All of us are doing a thing. We build bonds through adversity. And if we're into doing CrossFit, we're probably into the same mindset as each other, and we're probably going to want to be friends. Is it competitive? Only if you want it to be. So I think it's more fun if you do a little compete, but not comparison. Comparison is the thief of joy, so don't do that one, but compete is fun. Will this help my sports? Yes. Easy. That's an easy one. How do I get stronger? Just come in and do this thing. You will get stronger. There's no way not to get stronger doing what we do. If you want to get stronger faster and you're willing to sacrifice the other stuff like endurance and balance and all that other stuff, then just do hypertrophy. This is not for you. If you just want strength, yeah, just go lift. This is about looking good naked and becoming harder to kill. Strength is a part of it, but it's not the only thing. Can I come every day? Yes, 5 days a week is great. 7 days a week can be fine, but you start having diminishing returns if you never have a rest day, so watch out for that. Will I look silly? Yes, to you, you will look silly, but nobody else will care because they were all there. And you have a coach there to help you so you don't look too silly, but no one's going to laugh. So that's all on you and inside your head. What if I fail a rep? That's totally fine. Nobody cares. Do you have a beginner class? Every class is with the beginners and everyone wants to help you. That's a great part about our gym. We are happy, humble, helpful people who want to be healthy and fit now as well as in our 90s. So every class is for beginners. You could also hire a coach to do some PT, personal training, and they can help you move a little faster because, individual instruction helps a lot. How do I stay motivated? Yeah, that's a tough one. I think the community helps there a lot, knowing that other people are hoping you show up. But man, for me, it's just going early and getting it done. Why should I choose CrossFit over a regular gym? It just depends on what you're looking for. If you want to actually have success in what you're doing, then get a coach, and CrossFit's a cheap way to have a coach, as well as getting a community to motivate you. But it is not great if you are tough on the schedule because we have classes. And now we do have 24/7 access for those who make it to 100 classes. Not make it, that sounds weird. But when you get there, we'll give you the access because we want you to know what you're doing. So you can come anytime. But it's a class-driven thing. So if your schedule is wonky, then yeah, it may not be for you. CrossFit is quite literally the best thing I have found. And if you showed me something that was more effective, I would switch to it immediately. But this is it. This is the most effective thing we found. What happens after I join? I mean, it's super easy. Typically, I tell people, come in, we'll do a class together. I'll be with you or a coach. We'll go slowly through it. Hey, did you like what you saw? Great. It's a gift. You do not have to join. But if you would like to, you can join. And so typically what happens is I move your lead form with your waiver over to Converted as a member. Wodify sends you an email, says, hey, you can join now with the app. I set you up for a membership. Via the app, you add your credit card or bank ACH, and you start coming to class. That's it. It's that simple. What's the most important thing? Showing up. Being consistent to showing up and then not doing anything stupid to hurt yourself. All right, man, that was 50 questions, was it? It was. All right, cool. Made it do that pretty quick. That was a lot faster than I thought I would. This is good. I'm going to title this, I think maybe I'll title it 50 Common CrossFit Beginner Questions and Answers. That would be just a great title because that's what it says right there. Guys, we are here for you. This stuff works, but you actually have to come and do the work. So I know it sucks, but that's just literally how it has to happen. You got to come in. You got to show up. You got to show up for your body. I just had a good buddy of mine say, I need to quit the gym. I make sure, click, you're done. Because he just couldn't put it into a schedule. Yet I see him on Steam playing Rocket League all the time. If you have enough time to do Rocket League, you have enough time to get into the gym and work out. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. I didn't say your name, but you're 50. We're in the drop dead years. You are the guy they talk about. You are the statistic. Work is super important. I need to get it done. Yes, I know. But I'm putting all my effort and time into work. Yes, I know. I'm kind of working out, but not really. And I'm kind of eating good, but not really. Yes, I know. You're the statistic. 50% of us will be dead before 72, of us men anyway, before 72 from our birth year. That's the statistic. It's there for a reason. Statistics don't care about your feelings. That's the statistic. You're becoming a statistic. You shied away from movement. Man, I don't know what to tell you. You've made the choice. If you're making the choice for death, then you've chosen it. And I have talked to some of my friends. They're like, yeah, I know I'll probably die before 72, but I'm okay with that. I've got insurance and I'm writing stuff up for my family and they'll be good. I'm like, that makes no sense to me. I want to live to 120 or whatever. Dying before 72 is stupid. But they're like, yeah, I'm just resigned to it. I'm not going to do the things to fix it. I don't want to. So I guess I'm just okay with that statistic. That's crazy. I don't even understand how that's a thought, but I get people who are there and hey, for you, good on you. I guess whatever, they need statistics. Someone's got to die. But it's as easy as just show up. If you show up and half-ass it, I promise you're going to get results. If you show up and half-ass it and let me change your diet some, you're going to get amazing results. This stuff works. Guys, we are here in Woodstock, Georgia. The gym is called CrossFit Garage. You don't have to come to our gym. You can go to any gym you want to. This stuff is still true. We are here to help you. We're here to motivate you. We're here to get you through it. I want you guys to look better naked. I want you guys to become harder to kill. I want you to be successful in this stuff. I have seen in my own life with my own stuff and my son's life for eating and other people's lives, I have visually seen the results of what we do. This shit works. You just have to show up. All right, guys, y'all take care.